Abeokuta-led administration in Ogun State is worthy of support and unreserved cooperation of all and sundry. Traditional rulers in Ogun Central Senatorial District stated this on the backdrop of the commissioning of the Pansheke Adigbe-Opako Road. Tunde Olaniran reports.
And in particular in Ogun Central, we commissioned the Elite Road. We are completing the Kent Ashomori Road, the Diaba Road. We've completed the Gonago Fatai Road, the Vespa Oritameji Road in Ipo is completed. We are completing the Dero Akute Road. Journalist Estate Road is completed. Oshoba Road is under completion. The Tori Township Road is also under completion. The Olomo-Beswani Road is also about to be completed, and also the Lafayette Road, among several other roads.
The Pansheke Adigbe-Opako Road has been added to the list of roads completed in Ogun Central Senatorial District. The official commissioning of the road has been done, but the accolades kept tripping in on the governor.
For those of us that live around here, you have made life very easy for us. For those of us who have always been here, to go to Lagos, go to Ota, or anywhere around, along that line, is a thing that is quite convenient for us.
For all of us to enjoy the infrastructures in any government, there must be a continuity. So I want to thank God for the life of Governor Abeokuta, MFR, FIOD, that he didn't say he wasn't the one who started it. And we are grateful to him because it has affected the area where he is commissioning today. The businesses of people, the lives of people.
Traditional rulers are not left out of those showering encomiums on the current administration.
When you see anybody doing good work, we should just pray for them that they should continue doing the good job, and the good job is supposed to continue rolling. So we are very proud of him. We thank him for what he's doing, and we appreciate him. You know, it's just a wonderful job.
Well, the governor is a proactive governor. So even where he wasn't told of anything he sees, he makes good of it. So he has made good of this road. Well, so far so good. There's no problem. It's nice, beautiful. We hope we can maintain it. That is the people. It's not the government alone that makes everything good. The government has done its own. It's for us to maintain, by not splitting things, and not throwing things on the road, and make it good.
The road, which traverses 3 local government areas in the state, was redesigned by the Prince Dr. Abeokuta administration, having been widened by 8 meters in each direction, with reinforced concrete drain and walkway, along with reinforced concrete median and culvert. Tunde Olaniran, OGTV News.
The Prince Dr. Abeokuta administration in Ogun State in the last 3 years, through the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, has placed high premium on improving the ease of doing business in the state. Commissioner for Industry, Trade and Investment, Mrs. Kikelo Molonge, stated this while featuring on a special edition of New Dawn on OGTV to showcase the ministry's achievements in the past 3 years. The ministry, she said, in collaboration with the World Bank, has successfully set up Ogun State Economic Transformation Project, which has immensely increased the participation of the private sector in the economy of the state. She said the state is also working hand in hand with other key stakeholders in building the capacities of SMEs for optimal performance.
We have improved considerably. We have some major breakthroughs. An example, automation of the business premises permit processes. We have a portal that was launched last year where businesses can just go online to register their business. They just provide the relevant information, they will be assessed, they can pay online and print their certificate.
The commissioner pointed at COVID-19 pandemic as a major stumbling block, but added that the ministry succeeded in overturning the challenge into an opportunity to improve the industrial development and revenue base.
The Agbara Road is now being constructed, right? I think it's on track to be completed by the third quarter of this year. It's a massive, massive improvement from what was there before. As a consequence of the improvements in the infrastructure, we're getting more and more investors showing interest. Business infrastructure will be provided. So these are large industrial estates that would have inner roads done up, power supply, reliable, consistent power supply, water supply, sewage treatment, and all the works that you need. What does that mean? That means that companies can just bring the machinery and equipment, come and establish plug-and-play model.
Mrs. Kikelo Molunge said more public-private partnership arrangements will be facilitated to make the state conducive for businesses to thrive. Traditional birth attendants in Ogun State have been charged to work with different tiers of healthcare system for timely referral in cases of emergency during delivery to help in stemming the tide of infant and maternal mortality in the state. Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, gave this charge during a one-day consultative dialogue with leaders and traditional birth attendants to launch the Ogun State Hub and Spoke Pilot Project held at Elisha Town Hall. The commissioner revealed inclusion of pregnant mothers in the state health insurance scheme and provision of ultrasound facilities in each of the 20 local governments in the state as some of the efforts to ensure safe delivery. Matthew Showumi completes the report.
Given the high percentage of deliveries being taken by this category of people in the informal and orthodox health subsector, traditional birth attendants no doubt have important roles to play if the goals of the reduction of maternal and infant mortality is to be achieved by the Ogun State government. This one-day consultative dialogue with leaders birth attendants to launch Ogun State Hub and Spoke Pilot Project has been put together to educate and carry them along on the need for synergy between them and government healthcare system at different levels.
Today what we've been able to achieve is bringing the TBAs to the table and engaging with the skilled birth attendants in primary health and secondary facilities, where we can make referral from TBA to the formal sector, which is the primary health center, easy.
Dr. Koka said the current administration in Ogun State is putting different measures in place to achieve safe delivery of every child and health of mothers, and encourage the birth attendants to focus more on the welfare of both mother and child by doing the needful in times of crisis.
We've also introduced ultrasound scanning at a booking at 28 weeks and 36 weeks for all pregnant women who are on our insurance. And His Excellency Prince Abeokuta has provided ultrasound scans for every single LG.
In his welcome address, Permanent Secretary, Ogun State Hospital Management Board, Dr. Yusuf Kudus, said the project is about improving the health of the people by linking the traditional attendants with government health system.
It is called up and spoke. It means that there is a small or big hospital somewhere, and there are small hospitals around you that you can move through, and bigger problems can be taken to that hospital.
Chairman of Traditional Birth Attendants in Ogun State, Dr. Shoemokun Oladende, applauded the project and the government for carrying them along in guaranteeing the health of both mother and child. The dialogue broke into group discussions. Participants gave the outcome of the dialogue and recommendations. Matthew Showumi, OGTV News.
The All Progressives Congress APC will tomorrow, Thursday, 26 May 2022, hold its governorship and House of Assembly primaries. The governorship primary in Ogun State will start at 10 in the morning at MKO Abiola Stadium, Kuto, Abeokuta. All elected state delegates are enjoined to appear at the venue for proper accreditation at 9 in the morning according to a release by the State Organizing Secretary of the party, Yemi Adelani. Later in the day, from 2 in the afternoon, is the primary for the House of Assembly for the 26 state constituencies at different venues, with all elected local government delegates expected to appear at the venues for accreditation from 1 in the afternoon. Former Governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, has dumped the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP. Obi announced his resignation in a letter dated May 20, addressed to the national chairman of the party. In a release, Peter Obi gave reasons for his withdrawal from the presidential race, intimating his loyalists that his resignation from the People's Democratic Party was conveyed to the chairman of Agulu Ward, Anaucha local government area. Still ahead in the news, federal government establishes family courts in 16 states to ensure child-friendly justice for children. More news after the break. Point agenda of the current administration in Ogun State has no doubt recorded big boosts in the last 3 years. With many awards and a new horizon created for agricultural development, this sector has... Matthew Shogumi in this special report takes a look at the achievements of the government in this sector. His report.
The importance of agriculture in food production, which is essential to human survival and the revolution of any economy or society, has necessitated the need for any people-oriented government to pay priority attention to agriculture and food production. At the inception of the current administration in Ogun State, the development of agriculture as a pathway to industrialization and transformation of the economy was made one of the key elements of its 5-point agenda, which led to the development of a roadmap with 3 key components of increased production of food and nutrition quality, support for smallholder farmers, and agricultural industrialization. Visits were made to all farm settlements and agricultural facilities to access what is on the ground and the task ahead, followed by the launch of a job portal to encourage more youths to embrace agriculture. The Fadama Graduate Employment Youth Scheme, known as Fadama Guys, was launched, and the state was keyed into the Anchor Borrower Scheme of the federal government to provide startup facilities for the youths and smallholder farmers.
Yeah, when His Excellency came into the office, he was very definite, was very particular about the goals of agriculture in the state. The items that were listed then is that it's going to impact on food security. It's going to use agriculture to create jobs for people. That is going to link smallholder, primary producer, farmers to the industrial process.
Agriculture is the commercial arm of the Ministry of Agriculture. We manage government-owned plantations. That is Akbojoe palm plantations, Ibarile cashew plantation, Remo rubber plantation. We also have a major stake in Ilushin Rubber Estate Limited. When we came on board, most of these projects produce, but they say they are produced without adding any value. Hence, they get very minimal value for their produce. But since we came on board, we have been able to refurbish their mills. So most of those projects now add value. We mill our fresh fruit bunches.
Poultry production, cassava cultivation, and rice production received needed attention with the launch of different schemes which seek to leverage on the capacity of the state in these key areas, while the government moved to provide needed support for farmers exploring the enabling environment provided by government. The lockdown occasioned by the outbreak of COVID-19 did not deter the state government from achieving its programs for the people, as most of the achievements were recorded during the lockdown.
If you look around today, the figures are there for everybody to see. The case studies are there for us to study. You agree with me that it's not only in Ogun State. that the governor has been scored very high.
In clear demonstration of the huge commitment of the government to the goals of development of agriculture, the governor performed the launch of mechanized planting season and set up a one-stop center for agricultural items to provide access to seedlings, planting materials, and agricultural produce at Government Secretariat Okemoso, Abeokuta. A lot has no doubt been achieved in the area of agricultural development in the last 3 years, leading to bountiful yields, as the Ogun State Agricultural Development Agency also continue to work to ensure access to food with nutritional values by the people.
About October last year, we had met our income revenue target for the entire year already. It was the first time in the history of Agri-Development Corporation that the target will be set for a financial year and it will be met. And we are following that same trajectory this year. We have set a target that was approved by the House of Assembly for the financial year 2022. And I can tell you as at today, May 2022, we have done over about 70% of our income.
Awards then started coming in from different quarters in recognition of this feat by the government, with the governor bagging the award of the best governor in agriculture in the country for year 2020. Impressed by the progress the state has made in agricultural development, a special agro-industrial processing zone project reappraisal mission comprising African Development Bank, International Fund for Agricultural Development, and Federal Ministry of Finance visited the state for an engagement with government, private sector partners, and agro-investors to work out modalities for an agro-processing zone within the corridor of the agro-cargo airport, which the state is currently constructing to improve the economic fortunes of the states.
I think it's been like 3 years, like 30 years. So even as the Commissioner for Agriculture, I'm surprised that we're able to do this within the space of 3 years.
The last 3 years has no doubt been eventful and quite engaging for Ogun State in the area of agriculture, and with the momentum gathered so far, the place of agriculture in the scheme of things in a few years to come.
Learners in the state sitting for the West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination have been advised to avoid untoward practices that could bring shame to them and the state. The Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abeokuta, gave this charge while leading the management team of the ministry to monitor civic education examination in Abeokuta axis, where he admonished them to rely on their abilities and preparedness to record good success. Arigbabu disclosed that the preparation put in place were in order, with students diligently doing their examination without any interference, opining that with the level of government's efforts towards the examination, the overall percentage would improve considerably compared to time past.
Who won the Jets competition, the first prize in Jets competition? Ogun State, isn't it? We are known for first in everything. So we are changing and we are making sure that henceforth, even the overall best position in WAEC examination and all examination, even including JAM, we want to come to Ogun State.
The Commissioner revealed that government has put in place measures that will improve teaching and learning activities, positing that with the intervention, standard will be restored and sustained. He therefore admonished the learners to be good ambassadors of the state through their conduct in the examinations and afterwards. Some of the schools visited included Abeokuta Grammar School, Government Science and Technical College, Ideaba, Reverend Kuti Memorial Grammar School, Ishabo, and Premier Grammar School, Lafenwa. The federal government has said it will spend about 34 billion naira on the ongoing minimum wage consequential adjustments to the education sector workers with effect from 2019. According to a statement by the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, the beneficiaries include the members of the striking Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and their counterparts in the polytechnics and colleges of education. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, disclosed this while responding to questions from Labour correspondents in Abuja on the prolonged ASU strike. According to the minister, the universities would get 23.05 billion naira, the polytechnics 6 billion naira, and the colleges of education 4 billion naira, totaling about 34 billion naira. Regarding the ASU strike, the minister said the committee set up during the last tripartite plus meeting of the government and university-based unions were given a fortnight to turn in their report, and they were still working. He added that the reports of the committees are being expected this weekend. Ngige assured Nigerians that there may likely be wage adjustments as the government intensifies efforts to streamline wages, salaries, incomes, and wages commission. Lecturers in colleges of education across the country under the banner of Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union have given the federal government a 21-day ultimatum to accede to their demands or be ready for an indefinite strike. The COASU gave the statement made available to our correspondent today by the National Vice President and Southwest Zonal Coordinator, Olusegun Lano. The lecturer said the federal government has not been fair to colleges of education and had neglected issues affecting the union and the colleges despite many entreaties. The union urges stakeholders to prevail on the government to do the needful now before the expiration of the ultimatum, after which they said they would no longer be going back on the planned industrial action. The number of Nigerians studying in the United Kingdom has risen from 13,020 in 2019-2020 academic session to 21,305 by 2020-2021 session. The figure, which amounts to an almost 64% increase within a year, is confirmed by data from UK's Higher Education Statistics Agency. The UK has also witnessed a 13.08% increase in the international student enrollment at the postgraduate level between 2019-2020 and 2020-2021. The country currently houses 605,130 students in the 2020-2021 session, up from 556,635 in the previous academic session. Right after the United Kingdom, the top other countries Nigerians choose are the United States, Canada, Malaysia, Ukraine, South Africa, and Germany. Ahead of the International Children's Day celebration 2022, the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talin, has said that the federal government has established family courts in 16 states to ensure child-friendly justice for children, either as victims or as offenders of violence. Talin, at a press briefing, noted that the establishment of family courts resulted from the effective advocacy and sensitization for effective implementation of the child rights law across the country. According to her, the theme for the year is strengthening supportive systems for the protection of the Nigerian child, a wake-up call. She noted that despite efforts by the government and other stakeholders, children are still vulnerable and are victims of abduction, ritual killings, rape, child marriages, domestic abuse, and others. She added that as a ministry, they are sometimes overwhelmed with these issues, and it will seem as if they are not doing enough. More worrisome is the recent increase of violence in schools, where children are physically and sexually abused online and offline. The National Population Commission is seeking support from the Nigerian Army ahead of the pre-test census coming up in June this year. Chairman of the commission, Nasir Wara, informed the Army Chief that his officials had not been able to conclude the enumeration of some areas in Borno State due to insecurity.
The second local government is Abeokuta in Borno State. That local local government, we couldn't even have access into the local government completely.
This is a national call, so anytime you come calling, we are not worried, and we provide necessary security and support for your job.
The security challenges have far-reaching consequences, but the Army Chief says a lot of progress are being made, and ultimately it will be history. Dr. Samuel Ayinde Jayola Ibikunle, a renowned dentist, has been described by many as an individual who constantly supports the development of human capacity, and this, they believed, has made him a role model to many. This formed part of the messages heralding the 90th birthday celebration of Dr. Ibikunle, held at the Frontier Hotel, Ilaro. The Ogun State Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimon Salako Oyedele, the Olu of Ilaro and Paramount Ruler of Yeweland, Obakainde Olugbenle, and other notable indigents of Yeweland from far and near graced the occasion. AME reports.
Birthdays create an avenue to celebrate God's faithfulness in every individual. Marking his 98th birthday, among family members, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, royal fathers and dignitaries who cut across Ogun State and beyond is the celebrant, the Otunba Olu of Ilaro, Dr. Samuel Ayinde Jayola Ibikunle. The Deputy Governor, Mrs. Noimot Salako Oyedele, while wishing him a happy birthday, commended his unending passion for culture.
He's someone who, through his life's work, has impacted many lives right across the state.
Dignitaries and family members described him as a grandfather to fathers and a lover of education.
The problem we have is that his daddy is father to too many people. And most of all, happy birthday, Daddy. We love you to bits.
Be wise enough not to embrace those things that endanger the marriage institution with the consequences of undermining genuinely. Happy homes make happy nations.
All the culture around us here in Yeweland to the fore to be displayed. And the lecture was just given on family virtue as affect our nation. So that is Baba for you.
We are still celebrating for all his outstanding achievements over the 90 years that he has been in existence.
In memory of his late wife and her passion for science and education, the Martha Ibikunle Science Foundation for the promotion of science education in Yewa and its environs was inaugurated. The celebrant expressed his happiness and that his agility is renewed with commitment to culture and traditions.
I must say, I don't feel 90. I don't feel it at all. I feel like a young man of 60.
The event also created an avenue to showcase different cultural troupes, such as Zangbeto troupe and Jangbode troupe, without leaving out the Christ Church School, Ilaro, of which the celebrant is an alumnus. Earlier, there was an order of Holy Communion service commemorating the birthday celebration, where the preacher, Venerable Olushola Ladipo Ajayi, said every accomplishment should accommodate compassion so one can give back to the society. Aderunke Adeyemi, OGTV News.
Happy birthday to you.
Truck Owners Association of Nigeria Ogun State Chapter has disclosed that the association is independent and not in any form related or attached to any other union following the ruling of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Ibadan Judicial Division. Made known at a press conference held by members of the association at the Truck Owners Association Secretariat located at Olorushogo, Abeokuta. Tiwalade Faison was present at the conference. She now reports.
The Truck Owners Association of Nigeria, which is saddled with the responsibility of transporting quarry goods and products for the populace consumption, has clarified all forms of misrepresentation and wrong information in circulation between the association and the Nigerian Union of Mines Workers. The National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Ibadan Judicial Division, has officially established the position of each union following the judgment of the courts that was passed.
The court expressed it and tutored us that you
you have a freedom of association. The law of Federal Republic has revealed the truth, the fact that you cannot be compelled. You don't need to be under a union before you protect your interests, before you come together as a person of common cause.
The Public Relations Officer of the association, Mr. Tunji Ajayi, said the case has been lingering on for the past 4 years and the judgment pronounced was in tandem with the Constitution, which is responsible for more enlightenment.
The court have established to all of us that minor as national body, their state council here in Ogun State, any of their executive, be it at the zonal level, state level, or what have you, does not have that power to coerce, to force any member of the association, and that of Association of Granites, Sands, Granites, and Olia into their membership.
Engineer Benga Animashaun, the task force chairman of the association, said the union believed the judgments of the court. He, however, appreciated the state government for its continuous support towards the association.
The judgment is detailed enough. It's clear enough for all to see. There is no ambiguity in any form in the judgment that we've had. And in doing this, we just want to enlighten members of the public to understand what their rights are, their limitations are not.
The Truck Owners Association of Nigeria promised enforcement of the judgment and peaceful coexistence by all for the benefit of the members and the public. Tuwaladi Faison, OGTV News.
The Ogun State chapter of the Association of Professional Plumbers of Nigeria, APPN, have inaugurated a new executive. The executive was inaugurated at the association secretariat in Abeokuta after emerging victorious in an election held last month. Sheyi Alao reports.
The Ogun State chapter of the Association of Professional Plumbers of Nigeria has sworn in new executive members to pilot the activities of the association. The newly inaugurated executive members, which were elected by members on April 27, are expected to lead the association for the next 4 years. The new president, Alhaji Surajuddin Buhari, in his inaugural address, assured members that his administration will work hard to take the association to new heights.
Since the inception of this association, we have been playing our active and rightful part in government, and by the grace of God, we shall continue to do more. Amen.
The Deputy Director of Trade Monitoring and Evaluation, Mr. Segun Shoyele, who represented the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Community Development and Cooperative, Mr. Kolawole Ogunlano, charged the newly inaugurated ESCOs to focus on the job at hand, adding that its prime focus should be surpassing the stride of the outgone ESCOs.
To ascend a post is very easy, but to sustain is very difficult. Are we to charge them to be upright, up and doing? It's not going to be easy. There will be turbulent moments. With the grace of God and support of these people, I know they will surmount it.
Meanwhile, leaders of the association congratulated the new ESCOs and called on members to support them.
So Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ sọ pé àsìkò ẹ̀ tó kì í ṣe pé òun ló jà fún bí kò yẹ pé Ọlọ́run ló sọ pé àsìkò ẹ̀ tó.
I call on all the new executives and the new chairman to use the new president, to use all the God-given wisdom to paddle the journey of this association, to work with Artisan Association of Nigeria, Ogun State, so that we can together move vocational trade forward.
The Ogun State chapter of the Association of Professional Plumbers of Nigeria was founded in 1990 and was formerly known as the Ogun State Plumbing Association. Sheyi Alao, OGTV News.
Chairperson of the African Union AU Commission, Musa Faki, on Wednesday listed the preconditions for the emergence of a new Africa. In a message to commemorate the 2022 Africa Day, Faki said a new Africa would emerge once there was a focused pooling of the continent's energies and the abundant resources found across the continent. According to him, the challenges hindering the effective implementation of decisions, treaties, conventions, and strategies need to be identified and tackled in order to create the necessary atmosphere for the emergence of a new Africa. Faki said in response to the food and nutrition crisis in the continent, the AU has taken a number of initiatives, including the comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program. He said the AU Commission has also worked assiduously to address concerns about health, education, infrastructure, energy, science, and research as far as its resources allowed. This year's Africa Day has the theme, Strengthening Resilience in Nutrition and Food Security on the African Continent, Strengthening Agro-Food Systems, Health, and Social Protection Systems for the Acceleration of Human, Social, and Economic Capital Development. You're watching OGTV News. Up next is business news after this timeout.
Welcome to the business segment of the news. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has said average airfare increased by 52.44% from 36,000 naira in April 2021 to 55,000 naira in April 2022. Its document titled Transport Fare Watch for April 2022 that made this disclosure said the fare rose from 46,000 naira in March 2022 to 55,000 naira in April 2022. The average fare paid by air passengers for specified route on single journey increased by 18.57% on a month-on-month basis from 46,000 naira in March 2022 to 55,000 naira in April 2022. On a year-on-year basis, this rose by 52.4% from 36,000 naira in April 2021, said the Bureau. Clement Esong, Executive Secretary of the Major Oil Marketers of Nigeria, has called for investment in new trucks. He said most of the 40% petroleum product trucks on Nigerian roads were about 40-year-old. He revealed this during an oil and gas summit in Lagos, where he delivered a lecture on opportunity areas and challenges of investment in the petroleum product, marketing, and bunkering sector. According to him, the old trucks were no longer roadworthy and were the causes of tanker accident, adding that lack of funds to purchase new ones were some of the fallout of low investment in the downstream sector. Demand for liquefied natural gas, LPG, popularly known as cooking gas, has dropped to a record low across the country. Market report gathered on Tuesday showed that consumers had lately either reduced consumption or ditched the commodity for cheaper alternatives such as coal and firewood. President of the Nigerian Gas Association, Abeokuta, said this during a downstream event in Lagos that national annual consumption was currently between 1.3 million naira and 1.5 million naira metric tons from the federal government's annual target of 5 million naira metric tons. This brings to the fore the achievement of President Buhari's National Gas Expansion Program, which seeks to deepen local gas usage within the next decades. The Securities and Exchange Commission says that the identity management system being developed by the capital market will tackle the lingering identity management issues. This was stated by the Director General of the SEC, Mr. Lamido Yaguda, when he received members of the Committee on Identity Management for the capital market in Abuja. Yaguda described identity theft as a fraudulent practice of using another person's name and personal information to obtain shares, credit, and loans, among others, noting that the Commission decided to engage relevant stakeholders in a bid to resolve issues of identity management to tackle the problem of unclaimed dividends. According to him, the problem of unclaimed dividends had to do with identity management. Hence, The Commission was engaging stakeholders to harmonize various databases of investors and facilitate data accuracy in the market, as well as increasing investors' education to stem the trend. At least 51.3 million unique telecommunication devices may not have national identification numbers, according to the Nigeria Communications Commission's document titled Deployment of a Device Management System, Project Information Memorandum. Nigeria had about 132 million unique devices connected to telecommunication networks in 2020. The Nigeria Identity Management Commission Enrollment Dashboard for April 2022 showed 80.7 million people had NINs, and of April 23, 2022, this leaves 51.3 million devices owners without NINs. At numerous times, the NCC and NIMC have described Nigeria as a multi-SIM nation. They had explained that a unique NIN could have as such as an average of 3 to 4 SIMs. And that was Business News. Thank you so much for watching.